So kick lines, the first thing you're going to want to teach is make sure that your kids are remembering what parallel is. I will either have them in parallel or feet together, but we're doing everything parallel for this kick line, okay? You should already know how to crawl that squirrel up the tree to their passe de retire, so they should be good with that. They should already know their batmas, okay? So now we're putting it together, so they're gonna crawl and down, batma and down, batma and down. And I usually do 2 of each and repeat that a few times. I do it slow and do everything really, really slow. And then I'll do fast ones too, where they have to crawl that leg. Boom and down, boom and down, ba and down, ba and down. So getting the different qualities. Once they have that, then you're gonna count it out all together and try to get everyone to do it at the same time, okay? That can be with or without a song. Then your next element is holding hands. So they'd hold hands with the person next to them. They have to, and I always explain this first, they have to be keeping their balance really good. They can't be doing this kind of thing because they're gonna pull somebody over. So I wouldn't go quickly on these ones. I would take a little more time on these, but don't expect them to hold those retires very long, okay? I don't worry about height for their legs, but I do encourage them to keep them a little lower with straight leg versus kicking them up and bending over, because now if they bend over, they're pulling people with them. If you can do all of this, your next thing is then to link arms and do this same type of motion. The other thing you can do when you're working on kick lines, take out the retires and the batmas and just work on walking with hands in a line, staying in a straight line. So I'll usually give them dots on this line and then dots a few steps in front, and we'll count out the steps. 1, 2, 3, you should be on your dot. Then we have to go backwards, making sure we're on the same feet. Right, left, right, together. And if one person is pushing forward too much or taking too big of a step and not watching the person next to them, that line is going to get wiggly. So really encourage them to use their peripheral vision. And you're going to have to talk to them about that. Peripheral vision, remember, is when you can see your fingers without turning to look. You have that vision. And you can play with that as a visual with your fingers, just like I'm doing. Hold your fingers to the side, look forward, wiggle them, and you can see them. And talk to the kids about that. That's what they need to use in dance, is be aware of the people next to them so that they can stay in lines and formations and things like that. Some kids at an early age are not gonna, it's gonna go right over their head. But if you can start to encourage that, it's eventually going to click. So that walking in a straight line and also counting the steps works really well. Once they've got that down with just regular walking, you can add step, brush, step, brush. You could do your step, retire, passe to retire. You can then eventually even do step, step, step together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then eventually, once they are old enough, and I wouldn't do this anybody in rubies or sapphires, but once they get to that later end of sapphires into diamond level, then you can work on doing even a cross with that batma and that passe. You can even work on the passe into the batma and doing singles. You can even work on the bounce too. But I wouldn't even get into that until they're like 9+, because before that, that's just asking for trouble. So the big thing is working on what's the importance of getting it nice and sharp, the importance of counting, and the importance of knowing what people are doing next to you and staying together with them.